Om Swamiji. Our question for today is, what are the qualities and characteristics of the Guru?
There are three main features which are very important to know when looking for a Guru. The first requirement is that it should be a person who has this self-knowledge. And the person is very grounded, down to earth and simple, not necessarily trying to exhibit some miraculous powers or extraordinary capacity. That's because truth is very simple and not complicated. That's why the person also needs to be simple. The second requirement is that the person should belong to the teaching tradition of passing this self-knowledge. This is also a very critical requirement because with regard to self-knowledge, we don't really have too much value for people who call themselves self-taught. Because of the nature of this knowledge, it is not observable. And that's why it cannot be self-taught. And it has to come from a means of knowledge. And then that means of knowledge also has to be learned in a very systematic and structured way from another person. So it is passed down from generation to generation, from one person to another, from a guru to a shishya, and so on. And the teaching methodology also has a lot of structure built into it. It's very systematic. And that structure is learned only when one one is exposed to this teaching methodology for a length of time. Because sometimes we may also find that there are people who are wise, so who are jnanis. But still, if they have not gone through this methodology, they have the wisdom for themselves, which is very respect-worthy and deserving of reverence. But they might not have the capacity to pass it on to another person. So that is why we respect and revere them, but not really take them as our gurus. So that is the second requirement, that the person should belong to a teaching tradition. And the third requirement is that the person should be accessible, because the knowledge has to be passed on over a period of time. And then the person should also have the ability to communicate it, because some people have this knowledge, but if the capacity to communicate is not there, then it's not very helpful, because this teaching has always been done orally. So this is the third requirement. So the person needs to be accessible. And quite obviously, because of this, not a jet-setting jnani or a jet-setting Swami, because that person is not available in one place. So even though that person may be wise and have the wisdom. So these are the three main requirements of a teacher.
Thank you so much, Swamiji.